Hello, book lovers and lovers of Shirtless Dudes. I'm Ben Bauer, and this is Shirtless Dudes Book Club. Today, I have a guest on the show who I'm very excited about. He is an actor, model, singer, writer, all the slashes. He does all the things, all of them. And he is a bona fide silver fox. Very sexy, not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm so excited because we're talking about a book that I read maybe like a year ago at the behest of my therapist. And it really, really taught me a lot about, honestly, about being a gay man, being an authentic gay man, which is actually quite a struggle. So let's just get down to it, right? Without further ado, here's my friend David Pevsner.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
We're gonna work out. Looks good. We look great. Fantastic.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Before we start talking about the book, you have an album coming out.
I do. I have a CD of my mostly dirty gay comedy songs.
Dirty gay comedy songs.
It's called Most Versatile. It should be out within the month. Hopefully.
Oh my god, I love that you didn't tell me the name of your album.
Oh, yeah.
So hearing it right now for the first time.
Right, and well, the cover
Real
photo
reaction.
is a takeoff on Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA."
Oh, of course it is.
With
Of
like
course it
tons
is.
of handkerchiefs coming out.
Yes.
And it's very
That's
true to
clean.
that. It's pretty dirty, but it's pretty funny.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And in addition to that, you also had a movie at Sundance.
I did. I'm in this wonderful movie called Spa Night, and it's all about the Korean bathhouse life. It sounds kind of like tawdry, but it's really a family drama. It's a beautiful film, and I think it's coming out in the fall.
Great.
Yeah.
Lots of things. So
There's a
many
bunch of
things.
stuff. It's pretty skitsy
I love
right
that.
now. But
Skitsy.
skitsy. My life is
Skitsy.
pretty skitsy.
I mean,
well, so is yours.
right. That's what this book is about.
It's
Anyway,
craziness of
let's
the
talk
gays.
about the book.
Yeah.
Which means. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Do we have to do it like?
No, you don't. You can just take out.
How's that?
That was great. That was great.
And
Thank
with,
you.
with the dancing.
Oh my god. Okay, so
That.
I cuffed my shirt, so it was really tight on my
Okay,
arms.
I'm just throwing it that way.
Just I threw it. It's on the ground.
Okay.
Hold on.
And we're shirtless.
We're shirtless,
Oh my
and
God.
we're dudes, and this
With
is a
books.
book,
Love it. Okay.
and two people make a club. Here, at least.
But you're all a part of it too.
You're all a
so-
part of it, so thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Let's get down to it.
Okay.
When I have guests on the show, I like to ask them 4 questions. We're gonna have to adapt them a little bit because this one is a nonfiction book.
Nonfiction and non-boring.
Non-boring.
Yeah, it's a wonderful book.
That's one thing that I actually love about this book is the guy who wrote it, Alan Downs. He does a really good job of infusing it with like stories of
Well,
his
he's a
patients.
therapist, and so he actually has patients, and he tells their stories. So it really illustrates what he's talking about in a very relatable way.
Mhm.
Like you all have this stuff going on in your lives. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that I also really loved is that I reread it just the other day, and I read it in a day and a half. Like you fly through it, and the entire time your brain explodes because you're
Your
like,
brain
oh my
explodes.
god,
That's me. Well, that was me 5 years ago. Well,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what I'm still struggling with.
Great. So the first question that I ask is, what is this book about?
Okay, well, in essence, the book's about shame. It's about the shame that we've developed. It's called overcoming the pain of growing up gay in a straight man's world, and so we had a lot. Our uprising was different than most straight people's. You spend most of your first 20 years of life, denying who you are and trying to sort of fit into a world that everybody else seems so comfortable in,
Mhm.
and that brings about shame, and it makes you feel kind of shitty about yourself sometimes, and it also makes you wonder how you're going to live as an adult,
Mhm.
as a normal adult in this world when you don't have a reference.
Yeah. Well, and then something that's so interesting is, yes, we have this shame from growing up different, and that shame, unbeknownst to you, can really shape all your actions and all the decisions that you make. And
Well, those are at the risk of sounding like dull, because they're talking about the 3 phases the book talks about, but it's really interesting because what's great about the book is that you can read this at any point in your life, and you will find yourself at a different point in the book. You know, the overcoming this, overcome with rage, the rage that we feel when we are in the closet and we see the whole world happy as can be, and we're like tortured.
Yeah.
Then when you finally come out, the rage that is inside of you, trying to adapt. So you act out, like, you know, people do drugs and they have tons of sex and drink, whatever, and anything that anybody says to you that's the least bit sort of offensive goes really deep to your soul, because you know you're just very vulnerable when you come out, and you're trying to figure out how to adapt. And then the final phase being, okay, I've adapted, I'm comfortable, how do I live as an authentic adult? And that's sort of what gets you through the rest of your life. And everybody is in one of the phases, you know. Sometimes you spend a little too much time in phase 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that's it maybe sounds a little dull to talk about it that way, but what's great about it is that as you read this, you go, holy crap, that's where I am right now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Great. Question number 2. Why did you decide to bring this book in to Shirtless Dudes Book Club?
You know, I was going to do something nonfiction, like Barrel Fever with David Sedaris, just something funny and sort of, you know, light and fun. But I'm going through this whole thing right now in my life, dealing with not necessarily even my shame, but I'm seeing so much of it in the world. And I wrote a show, a one-man musical that's all about shame. I have a Tumblr blog that's all about shame and sexuality and nudity, and how, especially in America and especially in this political climate, how they're trying to make us feel crappy about our bodies. You know, they're essentially trying to tell us to put our dicks away. You're fine, you can be gay, but don't do anything gay men would do.
Don't you dare have sex with another man.
Exactly. Love the sin, you know, love the sinner, hate the sinner. And to me, it's like, I can't stand it anymore. So that whole idea of shame, it's something that I really would love everybody to read this, because everybody is going through some facet of this, and especially kids. I would encourage young men to read this book too, because it starts so early, and we see the kids that are killing themselves, and transgender kids killing themselves, and you know, I think every time I look at Facebook, my head's going to explode, because there's some bad news every day about people dealing with what's going on inside of them, and they can't. So that's why this is just such a helpful, encouraging book. It really encourages you to get to your authentic self. Live in this world, be who you are. Don't fake it. Don't put on a face for anybody. That's what's great about it. Was that boring?
That wasn't boring at all. That was so good. Question number 3 is, I mean, it's usually like, what's your favorite event or part of the story? But we can't ask that because this is not a story. So what, I don't know, like what was the biggest thing that you took from this book?
Well, you know, the biggest thing that I took was that when I read it this time, I was at a different place in the book than I was when I first read it like 3 years ago. And that to me was like, oh, I've progressed a little bit in this direction, but I've sort of gone backwards in another. Right. But I think my favorite thing in here was talking about when you know you're sort of like fully authentic, and that was the whole thing about having integrity, feeling love and feeling passion, but true authentic passion, love, and integrity. It takes a while to get there, and that to me was interesting. But also the things, it's sort of, there's a little bit of workbook in it, in that it gives you some suggestions on how you can make your life more authentic once you're out and once you're dealing with it. And just one of them I thought was something that I thought I would offer here, because I do it. I'm not proud that I do it. I kind of think that
we all do it.
We all do it, but I feel like I'm kind of a shit when I do it, but I do it. And that's so lesson number 1, it says, don't let your sexual tastes be the filter for allowing people into your life. Now, how many times have you gone to a party and you've looked around and gone like, oh, he's cute, I want to talk to him, and you don't see anybody else? All these interesting, funny, you know, nourishing people who would really, you know, make your life better if you would talk to them, but you just sometimes don't, because you're like, I want to talk to him. You know,
and there was a quote in that section that I really liked that was, when you use your sexual appetite as a social filter, you miss a great many of the wonderful people who will cross your path.
Right. And not only the ones, and they're not only wonderful just in the sense of who they are, like really great, funny people, all of you out there, all the great, funny, wonderful people who sort of get it, but also the ones, this book talks a lot about validation, and real validation you know, or the non-real validation, which is like, your house is so beautiful and you're so fantastic because you're so rich.
You have such a great job.
Right.
Your nose job looks fantastic.
The unreal validation, as compared to the people who are sort of like, oh, you know, oh, that's really, you know, what you're doing with your life is really cool. Or
You're a good person.
you're a good person, and you really are a good person. You're trying to, you're flawed, but you're trying to be a good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. So. This book, you know, it's too hard to pick one because this book is so damn filled.
The book is factually chock full of
Yeah.
so many little moments that actually make your brain want to explode
Mhm.
because it's so relatable. And, you know, like you said, you pick up spots where you see where you are now. You see spots where, oh,
wish
that
you
was
were.
me forever ago.
And sometimes you see
These are things that I
need.
need to work on to like get to another place, and it's really
Like that party thing, I'm not proud, but I still do that every so often, and
It's
I
so-
gotta stop.
well. I mean, the other thing is like, you know, like I have a boyfriend, and I do that all the time, and it's not necessarily even for sexuality, but it's like you know, you see someone who's attractive, and you base your friend group on like, okay, who are the prettiest ones? Who are the prettiest ones that I can bring into my circle so that I am then associated with the pretty ones?
And like, why?
Why?
How about the
That
good
means
ones?
nothing. Question 4. We're here. We're here already. It's the last one. It's okay. It's short and sweet. David Pevsner, you have 30 seconds to convince the folks watching at home why they need to read The Velvet Rage.
Okay, here's why. I'll tell you why. Because no matter how well adjusted a lot of gay men seem to think they are, there's always work to be done. And anybody from somebody just coming up, just anybody in the closet to anybody who is of that ilk, where I'm fine, everything is great, this book will help you get to the next level. It's so beautifully written and tells such great stories. It's so readable. And as you go along, well, we sort of said this. You're going to find yourself in this book. You're going to relate to what's in this book, and this book is actually going to help you. You're going to hit on something that you go, oh, you know what? That's what it is.
Mhm.
That's what's I couldn't put into words what I've been feeling sort of shitty about. And that's what it is. And so you can read about it and sort of go like, oh, well, maybe this is what I need to do, or maybe I need to be nicer to whatever, maybe I need to be nicer to whatever.
Yeah.
I really think, I honestly 100,000% think that you are going to see yourself in this book, and it's going to be really helpful and entertaining
Yeah.
to you.
Awesome. That was great.
Yay!
It was a little over 30 seconds, I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
You
I'm not good
failed.
with time. I'm too chatty.
It's done.
I should
Awesome.
shut
Well, David, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you. This was
appreciated
really
this so much.
fun.
It was really great to be able to talk about this book because, like I said, it really did affect me in a big way.
Yeah, and me too. And it was recommended to me by an ex, who I was like, really, you read this? No,
Are
but
you sure you wrote it?
but that's we're friends, and I think we're friends because we've worked things
Yeah,
out a little
totally.
bit through here. So it's
Awesome. Well, David Pevsner, everybody. Yay!
Yay, lots of fun.
Keep an eye out for his album that is coming
cool.
out,
Most versatile.
Most Versatile.
And the movie is called Spa
And the
Night.
movie is called Spa Night. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.
And
It was
thank you
great.
guys all for watching. I really appreciate it. Tune in next week. Bye.
Bye.